Ooh, got three topics. I'm so small. I love how this is how like every video starts now. I start it and I go, hang on a second, this isn't right. Let me see. Is that better? I think this is better. All right. First topic. I saw the 2009 Nick Cage movie Knowing. Didn't love it. Yeah. One note I have written down is Nick Cage, boring. I mean, that's definitely not the first thing you think of when you think of Nick Cage. You think of like that one movie where he's like, where he's reciting the alphabet. Or you think of, what was that movie where like he went crazy, he tried to kill his kids, and he was like, bam, and like smacked them. Or, you think of, I was about to say Always Sunny, Into the Spider-Verse, where he was like, something about rain, and the rain smells like rain. I don't fucking know. Like always doing something like eccentric, But in this movie, Knowing, he's just boring. He's not like crazy, and so I don't even think honestly Nick Cage is that good of an actor. I mean, he can definitely say his lines convincingly, sure, but it's just not. An actor isn't just, oh, can you be the characters? Like, can you be the character well? And like, yeah, he becomes his characters, but he doesn't do them that well, I think. And I think he works best like with voice acting because his, like I said, his voice, he's very good at just being the character. But no, because he is good with the physicality aspect. In this movie, he doesn't really do a whole lot physically. He has one scene where I'm like, that's Nick Cage. But yeah, he's just not great with his face. He's great with his body, he's great with his voice, but he's not great with his face. And in this movie, they don't have him do a lot with his body, except for the one scene, which I'm going to talk about. So it's just his face, and it's boring, and it's not good. But yeah, there's one scene where his son had a nightmare. He goes to check on him. He looks out his son's window and sees a man standing outside his house. He goes out there with a baseball bat, and he's next to a tree, and he's like, hey, you want some of this, huh? And he just he just hits a tree with the bat, and he's like, yeah. So that was the one scene where I was like, all right, this is Nick Cage. But the rest of the movie, there is like, no, it's just boring. Bad acting, like I said, already Nick Cage, he wasn't great. The kid in this, there's two kids. I feel like the girl kid was fine, but she wasn't the lead. The boy kid was not very good. Ugh. The lead actress, I don't remember her name. She wasn't very good, but it's kind of difficult for me to tell what was bad acting and what was just bad writing, because there were so many lines where I'm like, I don't think you could say that right. And I say this like almost every time, but I wish I had like my notebook next to me so I could write down some of these lines. But they were just so bad. And it was kind of funny. There was a Ben Mendelsohn, I don't think that's his name, but the guy that was in Secret Invasion, he was in Rogue One. He was in Captain Marvel before Secret Invasion. But yeah, he's like a British guy, and in this movie he's doing an American accent, and it doesn't sound very good. But yeah, okay, so now positives. That's all the stuff about the movie I didn't like. Also, it's boring plot. But they had good themes. It was all like religious subtext. Sometimes it wasn't even subtext. It was so like in your face. But I thought it was all pretty cool. The main like story beats are basically like, oh, everyone thought they were aliens, or no, everyone thinks it's religion, but it's actually just aliens. Like even near the end when we actually get to see the aliens, they have a weird glowing, like it looks like wings, and so you're supposed to be like, oh dude, people back then, they saw that and they thought they were angels, or like their spaceship is like a spinning, like like biblically accurate angel. It was that, and so they were like, oh dude, it makes sense, religion's not real, it's aliens. So that was kind of funny. I didn't love that reveal at the end because there wasn't a whole bunch of breadcrumbs. There was like a shit ton of references to religion. Like even in the movie, Nick Cage's dad is a priest, and like they see religious like art in multiple scenes. But then at the end, to just be like, religion's a lie. It was all aliens. It's like, oh, what? you know. So the whole plot of the movie, open up a time capsule at Nick Cage's son's school, hands out letters. His son gets a letter where it's just a bunch of fucking numbers. And Nick Cage goes through the numbers and realizes that they are dates, they are latitude and longitude coordinates, and they are like kill counts. James A. Janice would be so happy to have this information. Um, but yeah. And so he's like, oh my god, this is great. It's so fucking funny because the first one that it's just Nick Cage, who's a total alcoholic, which they never address in the movie. It's just Nick Cage like pouring himself a drink, then pouring another, and then pouring it. It's crazy. But yeah, the first one he does is 9/11, and Nick Cage goes 9/11. It's so funny. But yeah, so like that was kind of cool. The like religious stuff, I guess. I wish there was a bit more or a bit less because the amount we got just felt like weird. So it was kind of cool. Great visuals for 2009. There was like an entire oneer, which I didn't even realize was a oneer until I was like, because I'll like blink when there's a cut, and I was just like, God, my eyes been open for a while. And then I was like, wow, this has all been one shot, and I rewound it, and it was actually kind of cool. It was like, this is the scene where he finds out, oh, it's longitude and latitude, because he has like a little GPS thing, and he's at the location. And then a fucking, like, it's kind of a cool misdirect. Like, it got me. He's in traffic, and it looks like there was a car accident. And so he gets out of his car and goes over, and it's like, what's going on? And then a fucking plane falls out of the sky and just crashes into the ground, and Nick Cage just runs over to it. Now this scene was also kind of stupid because it had characters just like running around, like one, like they were on fire and just like would just fall down, or there was one woman that was just standing still waiting for Nick Cage to run up to her, and then after she said her thing of like they're dead, and then she ran away. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. Obligatory shirt. It says clown. Ugh. This is not my shirt. This is my partner's shirt. Left it here. It smells like them. So, that was cool. The fire was all right. And then there was a, excuse me, a subway scene, which was also very cool and also very unexpected. This movie there's hints of a good movie within it. It's just surrounded by shit. I can't help but feel maybe if it wasn't Nick Cage in the lead, if I would like it more. I don't know. But the subway scene was really cool. Man, they were like murking folks. I was really not expecting them to go. I didn't check the rating. I don't know if this was rated PG-13 or rated R, but I was not expecting them to go. I guess it wasn't too bloody. That might be how they got away with it. I don't know. And then at the end, everybody died. To quote Mark Ruffalo at the 2017, 2018 Comic-Con, I think it had to be the 2017 Comic-Con, where he said, oh, you should see this next one. Everybody dies. Everybody dies in Knowing. Like, at the end of the movie, they find out that all the creepy guys that have been stalking kids, they're actually aliens that are here to just take 2 kids from, like, every city, I'm guessing. I don't know. Because, but we just see them take 2 kids, and then they go into a spaceship and go away, and then we see a bunch of spaceships go away. So I don't know if it was 2 kids from every city, 2 kids from every state, 2 kids from every country, continent, whatever you. I don't know. But then, this is how the movie should have ended, was this scene where Nick Cage gets to his parents' house where he had religious trauma from his priest father. Also, it's kind of funny, the priest father, amazing home. It's kind of funny, especially because Nick Cage lives in such a shitty house. Like, it looks like it's falling apart. Um, but yeah, and then he gets there and then embraces his parents. His sister's there too, but like embracing his parents, and then they all die together because the world's blowing up. That would have been really dope. That would have been a great ending, I think. Also, that I would have liked this movie more if it ended here. But nah, because the next scene is we're on some fucking alien, like, at 2000, well, it's 2009, Avatar, like, planet with a weird, like, grass CGI effect, and the two kids are dropped off, and then we see a bunch of other ships, dropping kids off and leaving. And then, yeah, it ends with the two kids that we've been with this whole movie, like, walking up to a tree. So I think that's supposed to be like Noah's Ark, where it's like, oh, it's two of every animal, male and female, but it was like two of every kid. But again, how many kids did they get? Like, are the, like, and also, okay, let's say it is from every country. That's still going to be a limit. How old are these kids? What's the age range? You're just leaving them there on this planet? No, not going to check in with them? What about food? What about water? It seems they can breathe, but like, they're kids. How are they going to build a house? How are they going to do anything? Like, once these kids grow old and die, that's it. Like, is it supposed to be like, oh, we're going to restart humanity? How? And what if it is one from every continent? That's all you have is North America, Europe, and Australia, and then like what is Asia and Africa and South America? They're gonna have their own factions, because what if they're so young that they can't speak any other language? How are they gonna communicate? I don't know. Do they vet these kids? Like, what if they're kids from like someone with severe mental illness that got genetically passed on to them, and they go crazy and kill all the other kids in their sleep? But you see what I'm saying? I feel like I'm so small. I have my crystal. I have a black quartz crystal. Have I shown it before? I don't remember. I'll show it again, because I don't know if I've shown it. I got a little black crystal. My Nana bought me this. But yeah. Look at $21. That's crazy. And now it holds up my phone. But yeah, I don't like that ending. Like as I said, there's too many holes I can in that little piece of paper for me to be able to turn it into the teacher for a good grade. You know what I'm saying? I hope so, because I don't. Next, Vox Machina. I watched the finale. I thought it was good. I very much liked it. Some of the things I didn't. It's a little late in the day. I'm a little tired. I am a little bored. I'll be honest. I saw Smile 2 last night. I thought it was cool, but yeah, I'm a little bored, to be honest. Bit of a boring day. I had work yesterday. I got work tomorrow. I've just been rotting in my bed. My room is a mess. I got a bunch of clothes on the floor. I washed some clothes and I just haven't put them up. Yeah, I got like no motivation to do stuff. My partner's been at like school and then work all day, and we're not gonna be able to hang out today, that sucks. But we'll be able to hang out tomorrow after I go to work for 9 hours. Ugh. So I'm just not loving it. Right now I'm taking a break to do this. I'm playing Assassin's Creed Origins. So yeah, I'm in Memphis right now. If you know about that game, you know how far along I am. All right, Vox Machina. I wrote some things down. Thordak, Raishan, Percy Scanlan. Okay, Thordak. Start with that fight. It was kind of cool. I feel like it got resolved a little quickly. I mean, this is 2 seasons of being built up as like the strongest threat. And I mean, I guess I get it, because like they had an army, they had like a whole bunch of people joined together to defeat him. I don't know. I didn't love it. Lance Reddick, the GOAT, R.I.P., up there with Kobe. Man. Yeah, Lance Reddick was great. Seriously, we'll say again, because I made a joke. R.I.P. He was awesome. I'm happy he was able to conclude his work on this series. Unfortunately, he did not on Percy Jackson. They'll have to recast him. But yeah, his character died, so that's not really going to affect Vox Machina that much. When Thordak killed Kashaw, I think is his full name. I didn't like that. I did like how his death kind of mirrored Percy's death in that Vax was able to see the Matron of Ravens, because they can't call her the Raven Queen, saw the Matron of Ravens kind of claiming his soul, and he was able to get that eye contact with Cash. I thought that was really cool, mirroring how, like with Percy, when Percy died, it was just nothing, and a little sus. And that was just cool foreshadowing, because then Vax later found out he like could hear Percy's voice coming from the gun. It was all, I thought that was a very cool thing. But Cash's death. So Cash goes to solo Thordak, an ancient red dragon, CR what, 21, 23? I don't know what the CR challenge rating in D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. God. But yeah, like, so challenge rating is typically like whatever level whatever the average level is among your party, among your players, plus just the number of players in it. So a CR like 23 would be like 4 level 19 players could defeat without any magic items. So like, you know, if they had magic items, they could probably be like 16. But yeah, so like an ancient red dragon is like one of the most powerful creatures. And it had a fucking like gem in its chest that gave it even more power. And so Cash is soloing it, and I'm like, okay, they're gonna jump in. No one fucking jumps in. There's even a shot of everybody, and I'm like, y'all are just watching this? Like, you think he can solo an ancient red dragon? They've been doing, like, the whole last season and this season, they've been looking for vestiges, which are, I'm guessing, like, the legendary rarity of magic items that are in D&D. Legendary is just like, there's only one of each, basically. So they've been looking for these vestiges because they're like, oh, even a group of 7 of us, we're not powerful enough to defeat the Conclave. So we need to go get these legendary magic items so that way we can even have a chance. Cash has nothing. Nada. And he's going up against this fucking dragon, and everyone's like, oh, wow, Cash, you're very good. Wait, what was the thing? Wow, she's really good, I think, from High School Musical. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, and then he just fucking gets stomped to death and he dies, and everyone's like, oh, didn't think he would die. Like, I wish there was like a moment of like right before he died. It was just, all you had to do was just have them be like, we have an opening, you know? Like, so they're not dumb. Like, they were, okay, Cash made a distraction. They were about to charge, but right before they could, he dies. That would have been so much better than just, he's fighting and everyone's watching and then he dies. Because again, it's like, why are you just watching? Whatever. Yeah, I wasn't super attached to Cash, but I thought that was a very shocking death, especially because he did not die in the streamed game. Pretty cool though. I haven't watched much of Campaign 1. I've watched a couple episodes here and there, the big moments. I have watched Campaign 2. I love that one a lot more. I like pre-COVID Campaign 2, I will say. Whenever they come back from COVID, Campaign 2 just was not the same. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels differently, especially the way they play their characters, because I don't need to get into it. I'll leave it at that. The way they play their characters are a lot different from how it was before COVID, so I don't like it as much. Raishan, pretty cool with the disease and all that. You know, the reveal that the Ashari are what cursed her, the way that affected Keyleth was really cool, where she was like, it was us, you know? She said us. I have so many inside jokes that I know that, like, 5 years from now, it's not going to make any sense. But yeah, that was all pretty cool. The Draco Lich stuff was all, like, really dope. I thought they showed Thordak's size very well in the finale. Whenever they had like his dead body being possessed by Raishan. Also, very cool effect how it was Lance Reddick and Raishan's voice actor. It was them at the same time speaking. I like that a lot. Just thought that was pretty cool. Just some extra Lance Reddick. I thought was dope. I don't have much else to say. I wish we could have gotten more of Raishan's dragon form. We got to see her, count it, one single time in the battle against Thordak, where she shows up and it's like, oh, Thordak, what are we doing? And Thordak is like, oh, Raishan, kill him. And she goes, yeah, okay, and then fucking grabs his neck. And then she goes back to being human. And that's like, it's like, okay. So it's like, oh, we actually get to fight her. Nope, because it's Thordak again. So it was alright, but I didn't love that. Percy, he died in episode 7. I keep hitting my door. Hope you all can't. I'm like moving around a lot. Yeah, he died unexpectedly in episode 7, Cloak and Dagger. I thought it was pretty cool. Very unexpected because he didn't die. They're doing like Lord of the Rings magic. Not really, but like they're dumbing down the magic a lot. Obviously D&D, there's a spell for everything. It's very magic heavy, and in the Vox Machina animated show, everything they're just removing a lot of spells and magic and all that. Like Scanlan's, what was that thing? Mordenkainen's Magnificent Mansion or something like that. They turned into a magic item key that Scanlan has. I'm trying to see what else. Oh yeah, like Vex, all her spells are gone. She doesn't have any. Vax being a paladin is just gone. Yeah, so it's just, yeah, like Scanlan has 2 spells, you know? Like bards are arguably one of the most versatile spellcasters in the game, behind probably like clerics and druids first foremost. But yeah, so that is a little disappointing, but I get it, you know? I mean, if you have that much magic, it is kind of difficult for there to be stakes. Like, so, the death of Percy, where it's like, oh, we just revive him, you know? But in this, there was no revivify. It was kind of crazy. He fucking died. And in the finale, whenever they did bring him back, he was a fucking, like, skeleton. Like, they had to get his body back up to, like, how it was. It was crazy. I keep saying unexpected, but, like, I mean, that's what it was. Yeah, the final battle against Orthax wasn't even a battle, but that was pretty cool. Matt Mercer killed it as Orthax. We're not going to see him anymore. Kind of a shame, but that's okay. Scanlan, A Bird's Lament. Here's why I was a little upset. He wasn't angry. You know, in the campaign, he was angry, obviously, because first of all, in the campaign, he was a drug addict, addicted to spice, and so he was kind of on a self-destructive, my little thumbs, he was on a self-destructive path, and I feel like that's distracting. Okay, this is the biggest change for Scanlan specifically. Pike's there. I'm putting my things back in my drawers. Pike is there. In the campaign game, Ashley Johnson was gone because she was, you know, filming her TV show, Blind Spot. So Pike would not be there. And Pike is the only one, I mean, if you watch the animated show, you'll see Pike is the only one that's really in Scanlan's corner, that genuinely cares about him. Grog is kind of in his corner, but, like, Grog doesn't really care. He kind of is just, like, he's kind of too dumb to care. It's not really Grog's fault. He just takes everything at surface value, and it just is like, oh, with my buddies, you know? So Pike's the only one that cares about him, and that did not change for the home game, the streamed game, and Pike was gone. So it was really just, there was a divide growing between Scanlan and the rest of the party, and it blew up whenever he was knocked unconscious, and they brought Kaylee to see him. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? I don't want my daughter to see me like this. Like, this is embarrassing. And they're all like, oh, yeah, you're fine, whatever. And he's like, what's my mother's name? She died right in front of me, murdered by goblins. That's the whole reason I became an adventurer. What's her name? and they don't know. And it's kind of crazy. And then he's like, I need to leave. Like, I'm not appreciated here. And then what's the point? Like, I'm giving up spending time with my daughter to be with you, and you don't care about me. So I'm not going to do, I'm going to go be with my daughter, you know? Pretty cool. A little bit cringe, the what's my mother's name? Because it's like, even I was like, I don't know. But it was still cool seeing him get a little upset. And I thought that was going to happen because even throughout this whole season, like whenever Scanlan blew it with his daughter and like fell in his own puke, and then he gets up to see the group being, arrested, and he's like, Pike, boo with her, Pike. And then Vex says, nobody gives a shit. They're going to kill Percy. Like, I thought they were going to build that up, or in the mansion, the Chateau Shorthalt, whenever he's like, whatever. No, he leaves, and Grog was like, who's Kaylee? And so I thought they were going to flip it and have it be, what's my daughter's name? Like, I talk about her all the time. I'm always sad, what's my daughter's name? They didn't do that. All they did was, hey guys, I'm going to go be with my daughter. And everyone was like, all right, cool, have fun. And he was like, all right, I'll see you around. So, and they're doing the 1 year time skip right now, I'm guessing. Because, I don't know, does that mean no Tyrion? Because I love Tyrion. He's like, cool. And I don't know how many times I've rewatched the Darrington Brigade one shot. Like, I love it. And I love Terry. And he gets introduced when Scanlan leaves right before the 1 year time skip. But I feel like, live on my mixtape. Shut up, Cody Co. I don't know if you can even hear the siren. I might have just done that out of nowhere. But yeah, it leaves on good terms. Everyone leaves on good terms, and there's no Terry. So I don't know. There's a hint to Vecna, or the Whispered One, because of copyright. But yeah, I didn't love it. I wasn't satisfied, I'll say. I thought it was very cool. I thought it was very good. I liked it a lot, but I didn't love it. I didn't think it was great. But it was good, and I'm very excited. Season 4 got picked up. I'm very excited for that. I thought of a thumbnail I'm going to do, because I'm a little low energy, and I can feel it, because I waited forever. It's like 5:30 p.m. I normally film these, like, in the afternoon. But, yeah, I'm a little low energy, so I'm not going to be very expressive. So I can't really scrub through and find a thumbnail. So I'm gonna do one right now, because I'm done talking about Vox Machina, and now I'm gonna talk about Smile. So here's what I'll do for the thumbnail. All right, this was in the trailer. I don't know if you saw it, but it was like. Did that look dumb? Hang on, let me try again. Now, I want it to look good, though. This is going to be the thumbnail. It is like already a 30-minute video. Yeah. How was that? All right, I'll pick one of those. Okay. Smile 2. That was all right. I gave it 3 stars. If you remember, I gave the first one 4 stars. I really liked the first one. I didn't like this one so much. Spoiler alert, nothing happened in the movie. At the end of the movie, we find out that everything was basically a hallucination, because she goes to her performance and she's wearing the outfit that she hated, which of course the Smile Demon's going to have her wear the outfit she hated. Her mom is still alive. It's just all this stuff that's crazy. Her friend had never come over. Her and her friend had never hung out. Oh my god, dude. I don't know what happened. It's going to be difficult to rewatch the movie, but I really want to rewatch it. But yeah, Kyle Garner in the beginning, this was my favorite part, and that's probably not great for a movie if, like, my favorite scene is, let me say for Knowing, sorry. Favorite scene in Knowing, I think has to be, honestly, the world ending at the end, with the flames scorching over the earth and all the buildings, the glass shattering. That was a really cool effect. That was my favorite scene for Knowing. Favorite scene for Smile 2, Kyle Garner stuff in the beginning, up until he got hit by that truck. I didn't like that at all. I thought that was very dumb. But the whole sequence of events that happened in the beginning, very, very cool. Him being like, I'm going to murder someone in a traumatic way, and I'm going to have the person that sees it be a bad person, like I'm guessing he was like a gangbanger or drug dealer. Oh, probably a drug dealer because Lewis was there. So a bad person. She's like, oh, I'll give them the smile demon. Very cool thing, but he fucked it up, accidentally killed the person, and then he was like, no, 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 you can't die. You're supposed to take it from me. You can't die. You can't die. That was really cool. And then Lewis was there, and he was like, who the fuck are you? And then he was like, no, no, there wasn't supposed to be anyone else here. I'm sorry. Because he knows that he just imprinted the demon onto Lewis. Or maybe, I don't know. Because he never asks Lewis, like, how much did you see? And that's what I was thinking. But I knew that Lewis saw it because of, the trailer. So many of these movies that I see in the theater, I know that I would like a lot more if I didn't watch the trailer. But I wouldn't know about the movie if I didn't see the trailer. It's what's that called? Like a catch-22 or something? It's bullshit is what it is. God, like the Wolfman trailer? I feel like I've seen the movie. Pisses me off. I'm still going to go see it. I'm very excited. But still, Cal Garner, sexy as always. He was great. God, just the opening shot of his face being like 6 days later. Very cool. So fucking cool. That was such a hard way to open the movie. Great opening and great ending, I think, this movie. Like broadly, but just shot for shot, the opening is like 20 times better than the ending. Just for I think the effect. Because the way this movie ends is like, she has a microphone sticking out of her eye. It's all right, I very much prefer the scene right before it's so funny, just like knowing. I prefer the scene right before that, where it's just the audience that we're seeing, and they're all screaming, reacting to Skye killing herself, and all we hear is the thunk, thunk. But yeah, I liked that a lot. Just the thunk, thunk, and then everyone's screaming. That was really cool. I don't know. This movie this movie wasn't as grippy, it wasn't as wet as the first one was. Like that first one, got me, and I think it also has to do with the main character. I just liked Rose way more than I liked Skye. Rose was just smarter, I think. So it was just, I felt safer because I didn't have to worry about what was going to happen. She was worrying about what was going to happen. This movie pissed me off, and I wrote this down. No plot, ? Because, and I'm done because that's all I have. But there's no plot, basically, in this movie, because Skye just gets scared and then does nothing, and then gets scared and then does nothing, and then gets scared again, and then has a conversation with someone, and then does nothing, and then gets scared, and then that over and over again until the fucking movie ends. And that pissed me off. Why are you not doing anything? Why are you not talking to anybody? The closest she gets is something really weird is happening. Like Rebel Wilson. What was her name? Hey, Jesse. Is it Rebel Wilson? Oh my God, Rebel Wilson. Oh my God, that's so fucking embarrassing. That's Fat Amy. Oh, it's a terrible Australian accent. But that's fucking Fat Amy, Fat Patricia from Pitch Perfect. Wow, Rebel Wilson. I meant Radio Rebel. Fuck. I don't remember her name, though. Debbie Ryan. Isn't she dating that guy from 21 Pilots? I don't know. What the fuck was I talking about? 21 Pilots. Debbie Ryan. This. Oh, right. She's like... Fuck. Whoa. But yeah, the closest she gets is something really weird is happening. And then the person she told that to, guess what? We find out that she wasn't even fucking real. Because she tells that to her best friend. They haven't talked in a year. Okay. She is making a big comeback because a year ago she got into a car accident, her boyfriend died, and then she lapsed into a period of drugs and alcohol and just being a bitch. So... then she cut off her best friend, and so then she is dealing with the smile demon. So she calls her best friend and leaves a voicemail, and then her friend calls her back, and she comes over, they spend the night. Damn, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, okay. Um, I'll get to that in a second. So, and then she tells her friend, she's like, yeah, something really weird is happening. And then her friend's like, what? This actor was fucking so funny. Gemma, I think was the character's name. But yeah, uh, it's just a lot. I'm getting chills right now because I have a very good visualization. And there's a scene that I think was my favorite scene. And oh, it keeps popping in my head. My bathroom door is open right there. I need to close it real quick. And I need to check out here because I have OCD, compulsive thoughts, and it's making me scared. Who's out there? Ugh. All right, my door is locked. I can talk about spooky stuff. Okay, early in the film, early-ish, she's at like a fan meet and greet. She's signing shit, and there's like this creepy guy. He looks wet, like he looks gross, and he comes up and is like, "Hey, nice guy, I love you. Can you put love Alfredo?" And she's like, "Oh, okay." And she takes a picture, and I know he stinks, dude. I know he stinks. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill you." He doesn't say that, but he says some like whack shit. And she's like, "Okay, get off me." And he's like, "Oh, fucking, I love you." And he has to get escorted out by security. So in this scene, oh my God, she took a drink of water like a million times in this movie. So she takes water again. My partner was next to me and just every time she took out a bottle of water, would look over and be like, 1, 2, 3. And I think they got up to like 8 or 9. Like, it happens so often. And there's an in-universe explanation where she's like, "Oh, every time I want to do drugs, I drink a bottle of water." But I mean, it's still like crazy. And the logo was always showing. Anyway, so she drinks half of it, puts it on the counter, goes over to play her little piano. Did that sound derogatory? Her little piano. But yeah, so she's playing that, and then she hears a glass break. She goes over. Oh my God, her bottle of water is broken. Oh yeah, because she's rich. So it's not a plastic bottle, it's a glass bottle. Still, the logo Voss is like perfectly intact and you can see it. That was really funny. So she's like, "Oh my God, my fucking bottle broke." And she like kind of looks up a little bit, it's still on the floor. She sees the hoodie that she signed for Alfredo. Oh, I'm getting chills. I'm getting scared. It's getting spooky in here. And she like keeps following and she finds more and more clothing, like a shirt, jeans, socks, underwear with poopy stains. Oh my God, poopy stains in the underwear. That was so foul. I hated that part. That was so, because I know it stunk, dude. And then she looks up, and like as soon as she looks up, the hallway that she's in, the lights go out, and she sees Alfredo in the distance, completely naked, smiling at her. Oh my God, I hated this scene. And he's just looking at her, and he's like, so it's all dark from like here down, so you can see his face. And then like he just like goes, he like ducks to start running. So then he disappears, and you can't see him, and you just hear because he's running at her. Oh my God, this scene was the fucking spookiest. What? Wait a minute. Okay, so yeah, that ends because she gets to her door, opens it, and sees Gemma. But that's not really Gemma. That's also the demon. The entity. So, did the entity just want to keep... Oh. Did the entity just want to keep her in her apartment the whole time? Why? I mean, the demon did say to her, like, "Oh, I really like wearing your skin." But, like, I don't know. She really, because she does not leave her apartment. That's, like, the whole, and I don't even know, like, the guy that's helping her that's like, "Oh, yeah, 8 before you was my brother, and I didn't believe him, so I want to help you kill this thing." Was he even real? Oh, nah, no way he was real. Because he was acting so sus at the end of this movie. Dude, like, so this whole movie was not real. This whole movie didn't happen. Yeah, see, I don't really like that then, you know? Like, I would very much love to know when it stopped being real and when it started being all fake. If I could tell, maybe I need to rewatch, but if I could tell when it started being all fake, I think I'd like this movie a lot more. But because of the fucking, like, gotcha, bitch, it was all fake, it was all a hallucination, I don't love that, you know? I don't know. Like I said, I would need to rewatch it. It's in theaters. I might just go again. I don't pay for movie tickets. I have the AMC A list, so I get to see 3 movies every week for free. But I don't know. I might go again. I don't know if I want to. This movie had so many jump scares. That's another thing I didn't really like. It's getting warm in here. I'm gonna turn my AC on. Um, what was I saying? Fuck. There were so many jump scares. Like, I feel a lot more than the first one because the first one would just be something in the background filling you with terror. It wouldn't be like like this movie was. This movie was that the whole time, and that's another reason why I was like, Sky, why the fuck are you not telling anybody? Because if Sky was experiencing what Rose experienced, I would kind of get it. Because Rose just saw someone like in the corner of the room, you know? But Sky saw someone in her face being like, ah! So I was like that's 2 completely different things. That warrants 2 completely different reactions. Because Rose experienced that and is like, I'm having a psychotic reaction. I need antidepressants or whatever the fuck. And then Sky's just like, I'm acting kind of weird. I don't know. I think I'm just upset. So I was just, that's why like I didn't buy it. Jack Nicholson's kid was pretty cool. He had low battery. I know. There we go. He had a part where he laughed, and I was like, yeah, that's him. I don't think I have anything else. The ending kill to Sky was pretty cool, where she saw herself on stage, and it like ripped open her scar on her stomach from the car accident a year ago. And then the monster crawled out. It had weird eyes, dude. It looked. I wish it would. I wish it kind of. Whoa. I kind of wish that it looked the same from the first movie, because the first movie it looked good, but in this one it looked a little whack. But that sucks because I like the way that it emerged better in this movie. In the first one, it was like a giant, because it was her mom's. It was like a giant version of her mom that just ripped its own face off and then like de-skinned itself, and then it's a giant monster. In this one, it's Sky rips open her stomach scar, crawls out, and then it's like a centaur where, you know, the front half is out and then the back half is inside Sky back there. You know, the other one, not the main character. There's someone out there going, oh my God. I live in a bad neighborhood, dude. My partner, one time we were sleeping I didn't wake up, I didn't notice, but my partner woke up and a woman was like screaming. Like, they thought that like she was getting like assaulted or something. I don't know. But then like 5 minutes later, a cop showed up. Could just be domestic abuse. Dude, there's someone right outside my window. I'm so happy I'm on the second story. If I was on the first story and I could hear them, paralyzed with fear. Man, I'm stuck because I want to listen because of my fear, but I gotta finish this up. But yeah, and it looked different. It still kind of had its rows of like smiles, which was kind of cool, but its eyes were all fucked up. I didn't like that. I don't know if maybe it's supposed to be symbolic of like a car's headlights, because one of the scares was Gemma laying in her bed and then honk, and then fucking like her eyes were all bright, and then fucking like a bright light came out of her mouth like a car, I think, you know. And then she woke up and then Gemma was like, whoa, dude. But that wasn't even fucking Gemma. See, I don't know. That's what's so, I really hate the whole none of it happened. I kind of don't like that because it does sully it a little bit. But anyway, yeah, I give it 3 out of 5. The first one I gave 4 out of 5. I really liked the first one. This one was all right. they'll probably do a third one, but I don't really care for a third one, you know. If they're gonna continue this trend, but okay, that was it. Bye bye. I gotta fucking investigate what's going on out there.